1, Tau receives a call from Mr. Katiso Molefe at 11:36. There's a duration of 119 seconds. And 2, he makes a call, this is Tau, makes a call to Molefe at 11:43 of a duration of 14 seconds and arrives at Molefe, this is Tau, arrives at Molefe's home shortly thereafter at 12:36. Now, before you go to what's on the screen, can I just ask you, how did you know that that is Molefe's number if you didn't have his cell phone at the time?
Yes, Commissioner. Before we could start and doing our applications and maybe phone downloads and everything in terms of doing a cell phone communication investigation, we will do our background check, and then which is where we get the information that we will call the intelligent information. So at the background, we already had Katiso Molefe's cell phone number.
So you were able to establish that when we're talking about the data on 12 April 2024, that it was sent and received from a Mr. Katiso Molefe based on the number, not just on the name that is saved as Katiso Molefe on the phone. You actually verified that the number is his number.
Yes, the number suits the number that we had for our intelligent purposes.
Okay, thank you. Can we now proceed?
Can we, I'm very sorry, can we take a 5-minute adjournment for something urgent we want to attend to? Let's adjourn.
In South Africa, blood cancers and disorders claim 4,000 children's lives annually. A stem cell transplant from a stranger is often their only hope. You could be that life-saving stranger. This Sunflower Month, give hope and second chances by registering as a stem cell donor at www.dkmsafrica.org.
Witness A, are you there?
Yes, Commissioners, I am here.
Witness A, we were dealing with paragraph 33.1 of your statement. If you can just tell us what it is that you want to tell the commissioners about the link on the 12th of April 2024 between Mr. Tau and Mr. Molefe.
Yes, Commissioners, this will be a call record that was that shows that on the 12th of April 2024, that is 5 days before the murder, Michael Puletau received a call from Mr. Katiso Molefe at 11:38, and then the duration of the call was 119 seconds. And then Michael Puletau makes a call to Molefe at 11:43, which was a duration of 14 seconds. And then Michael Puletau arrives at Molefe's house in 12:16 minutes.
Okay, we're just flighting the second one, which is at 12:16 minutes, as you say. And what is it that we see there where you say it's at 12:16 minutes?
We're seeing the vehicle, which is the Mercedes-Benz Viano, that was later linked to Tau during arrest, arriving at the house of Katiso Molefe on the 12th of April 2024, 12:16 minutes.
And then if we go to the next one, it's 33.2. You speak about the 13th of April 2024.
Yes, on this one, the 13th of April 2024, Tau then received a message from Molefe with the name and cell phone number of the person who was identified as an employee for the company called QTech in Vereeniging.
When you say...
Sorry, Witness A. When you say that, or when you say with the name and cell phone number of someone, what do you mean? Do you mean this message mentioned this cell phone number and person?
I mean, this message was giving the name and the cell phone number of this person who is identified as an employee at QTech. But now the details of such are not going to be disclosed to the Commission.
Commissioners will see that on page 44 of your bundle, which will have the details under text, would have the actual text, but it's redacted for the public. It's redacted for the public, but on page 44 where it says text, 12:59 in the WhatsApp chats, it will have a column that says text, and that will be the text that was actually in the WhatsApp. And what the witness is saying is that the name and cell phone number that's reflected in the block next to text was the text that was actually received from Mr. Tau. Sorry, from Mr. Molefe to Mr. Tau.
Can you have the witness confirm that?
Yes. That is what the
That
witness
is
had
correct.
said. I'm just confirming that you can actually see it on your screen, whereas the public cannot. Then if we can then go to the next one, it's at 33.3.2, 2.2 on page 10.
Yes, Commissioner.
You
Then
can,
on this one, it is seen that Tau tried to get more information about this person that was given to him by Katiso from a person called Lerato.
do you know who Lerato is?
Yes, Lerato was identified and was interviewed, and the statement was obtained from her to confirm what I've just said at paragraph 33.2.2, that she was indeed requested by Tao to identify the person who works for QTech.
Okay, and then at 33.2.3,
In that one, Tao sends a message to Molefe asking, Abudi, please send me that company's name again. So I will assume that at this particular time he just needed confirmation from Tariso Molefe to send him the information of the company or the name of the company again, which is QTech.
and then at 33.2.4, you deal with the response to that email. Can you deal with that?
The response was that Molefe then did indeed send the name of the company, which is QTech.
And can you just on the screen for the record read the date and time of that message?
It is 13 April 2024, 14:39.
Thank you. And then at 33.2.5,
At 33.5, Tao makes a call to Molefe and also received a call from Molefe at 16:34.
we on
While Tao
30
was highly spotted.
sorry, witness A, we at 33.2.5, not 33.5. We're still on the 13th of
I'm too
April.
far.
Yes. 33.2.5, yes.
My apology, Commissioners. 33.2.5, Tao is seen forwarding these photos from the internet of two QTech employees to Molefe with the message, these must be them.
Okay. And then if we go to the 14th of April at 33.3,
All right, maybe before we do that, if you go back to 33.2.1, witness A, in the second last line, which starts, Molefe appears to have believed, you see that?
Yes, I'm on that, Commissioner.
Okay. So that first sentence that reads, Molefe appears to have believed that this person is a whistleblower in respect of the alleged fraud and corruption related to a Transnet contract. When you say this, where does this appear from? remember we're discussing the WhatsApp message, and then you say Molefe appears to have believed that the person was a whistleblower. Where does this appear from? In the WhatsApp message or other material?
I think this talks to the information that we had as we moved on with the investigation. The appear means that he was of the belief that the person that he was sending to Tau was a whistleblower.
Yes.
Because now we had knowledge as we moved with investigation that actually this person was not a whistleblower.
Yes. And then the second part of that paragraph, you say the contractor alleged to be committing the fraud is a company, and you give the name of the company there, you say SK Group. This is the first time it is mentioned, and I'm not sure whether you discuss further in your statement. You're going to talk more about this group, but it's not in the WhatsApp message unless I've missed it. So I'm trying to understand where this comes from, this information.
You are correct, Commissioner. It is not. This is now from our investigation, and I do agree that we actually needed to have given a little background of this SA group.
Yes.
But as it has been declared before, that more of the information will be a touch and go, because it talks to the investigation that is ongoing on this case and made on the other parallel investigation on this case. And maybe for purposes of this exercise of this commission, I will just mention to the commission that this SK group was a middleman, if I may just use that name, that was buying from QTech on behalf of Transnet. And then it was learned that this SK group was inflating prices way higher than what it was receiving the product from QTech for, which then would mean this perceived whistleblower would report the SA group to Transnet and other bodies to say there is irregularities happening here. Just to give a brief description of what happened, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. This evidence will be led by witness B.
All right. And then maybe lastly from me, and this is more for you, Ms. Sigals, not necessarily to be done now, that where you've referred to the annexures, can we just make sure that the page numbers are also referred to so that they reflect on the record? Because I think we referred to these WhatsApp exchanges without page numbering them.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are now at 33.3, witness A. Can you just read that paragraph for us regarding the 14th of April?
33.3.
Yes.
On 33.3, on the 14th of April at 3:27, Tao sends a message to Molefe, which reads, "We are here." And then at the same time, Tao's phone, GPRS, connects to a tower 2 kilometers from QTech's offices in Vereeniging.
And that is...
At 15:29.
And that is on page 48 and 49 of the annexure bundle. And then if you can go to 33.4.
At 33.4, Tao receives a forwarded ownership check, which is a forwarded message on his phone from Molefe, which is an ownership check of vehicle registration numbers.
And for that, it's page 50, 51, page 50 and 51 of the annexure bundle. So if I can understand what you're saying is that Mr. Tau is receiving from Mr. Molefe forwarded ownership checks for 3 registration numbers. Were you able to confirm what those vehicle registration numbers relate to? Are they in any way related to anyone at QTech?
No, they were not connected to anyone at QTech.
Okay. Continue at 33.5.
33.5, that is now on the 16th of April, which will be the day before the murder. And then, can I just jump to 33.51?
Yes, you may, and it with reference to page 52 of the annexure bundle.
Yes, Tau makes a call to Molefe, and he also received a call from Molefe at 16:34, while Tau's vehicle is spotted on CCTV footage at QTech offices at 16:39.
If I can just understand what you're saying is that at the time that Mr. Tau makes a call to Mr. Molefe at 16:31 and receives a call from Mr. Molefe at 16:34, his vehicle is, his cell phone is spotted to be 2 kilometers within the towers that's close to QTech, within 2 kilometers of a tower that's close to QTech.
Yes, but for the purposes of this paragraph, it is actually his physical motor vehicle on the CCTV footage that was retrieved from QTech.
So it's the footage at 16:39 on the 16th of April.
That is correct, Commissioners.
Continue. And we're now on page 11 at 33.5.2.
At 33.5.2, at 21:22, Tau's vehicle arrives at Molefe's house at around 21:36.
And that is on page 53 of the annexures. And you say that the Viano arrives at Mr. Molefe's house at 21:22 on the evening before the murder.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it left there at 21:36.
Okay. And then if we can go to 33.6 and on the 17th, this is now the day of the murder, and it's the reference for the annexures is 54, page 54.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Commissioners, can I carry on?
Yes, you may.
So, 33.6 on the 17th of April at 8, the white Hyundai that belongs to that was found at Musa's house during arrest.
You may read it, witness A.
The whole paragraph.
Yes.
It says on 17 April 2024 at 8:04, the white I-20 arrives at Kekana's house in Q at 8:12. Cell phone activity resumes at 8:17. And then at around that time, Tau sends a message to Molefe saying, "Morning Aputi, Rishabh," which was then translated to say, "Morning brother, we are okay." This inference I draw the inference that from the timing of the message and the fact that there was no message that preceded it, it was him telling him that they went good in Vereeniging and they are not arrested and they are back. So he was just giving Molefe information that wherever they are okay, for him not to worry.
And if we can just place the timing in context, the murder of Mr. Amanswart occurred at just after 7 in Vereeniging. And this is now at 8:17, an hour and some minutes later, but they are back in Johannesburg. This is happening in Johannesburg, this conversation, or the WhatsApp is being sent when Mr. Tau is in Johannesburg.
That is correct. Also, what we understood about this was that when they arrived at Musa's house in the morning, they switched their personal phones off and they left, which could then mean that their phones were left at Q. And then they went to Vereeniging and committed the crime and then came back. And that was only when their phone came back on again. And then maybe they were doing this so that they cannot be connected to a crime scene by their personal phones, which is why they were using the 2 burner phones that I spoke about earlier on. Because with them, there is information that we have that puts both of the phones in the vicinity of Vereeniging during the commission of crime, and there's also information that tells us they were communicating between themselves, these 2 burner phones.
And what about the Viano? You've spoken about the I-20, and we know from your earlier evidence that the Viano was at Mr. Kekana's house, was parked at Mr. Kekana's house.
Yes, Commissioners. Can I address paragraph 34 in that regard?
You may.
Before you do that, in 34.4, and what I'm going to ask applies to the other messages. In 34.4, you say on 33.4, I beg your pardon, 33.4. You say on 15 April 2024, Dow received a forwarded ownership check for vehicle's registration number, and that document is at page
50 and 51.
Page?
50 and 51.
Yes, it's at page 50 and 51. Now, in the body of those documents, where do we see that this was from Mr. Molefe or from Mr. Pule? I know at the top you say receives a forwarded ownership check at 51 for that vehicle from Katiso Molefe, but what is it in the body that tells us that, or that indeed, specific question that I've asked, and then the rest I leave to you to decide when you're going to address it. So witness A, 33.4, you're referring, I've been directed to 50 and 51, and you say this is ownership check received from Molefe. How do we see that in the body of these documents? Where do we see that this is from Mr. Molefe being sent to Mr. Dawi, and it may well be a reference to their telephone numbers. I don't know how you identify them.
Witness A, you are muted, so I'm not sure if you're speaking and we can't hear you.
Yes, Commissioner. I was just trying to look at my pages here so that they do not make noise to the microphone.
Did you hear the question? The question is, when you look at page 50, for example, and there's a reference that there was a forwarded message from Mr. Molefe to Mr. Tau, how do we see that that is indeed the case from the message, the information on the message itself?
Oh, yes. We get it from the downloads of the phone of Tau, and then when you read it, it will tell you if the message was, it will tell you of the nature of the message. It will show you that the message is from this source, but it came to him as a forwarded message in WhatsApp.
And can you just direct the commissioners to where on that page 50 we would see that? I can see it, but we want you to identify it for us.
Yes, if you look at the same page, at the top it is written text, and you go down there, it tells you the status of the message. Then it shows that forwarded, which will then mean that the nature of the message, it came from the source, but it was forwarded to them. So it is written there as forwarded.
Okay.
And
Should I go ahead?
yes.
All right. There's witness A, looking at that same shot, there's a number,
Yes.
WhatsApp ID number. There's the first WhatsApp ID number. It's an 083 number. And then there's a second one, WhatsApp ID number. It's an 072 number. Are those numbers helpful to explain this forwarding or sending, who sends who?
Yes, the 083 will be the number of Mr. Molefe, and the 072 will be the number of Tau.
All right. Yes, and
I am saying this, Commissioner, as I am also reading, which is why sometimes I just cut.
So say that again, witness A?
I'm saying that I was just making an excuse that I am saying this as I am reading on
Yes.
what is being displayed on the screen. That is why sometimes I cut when I talk.
All right. All right, no, thank you. Then the same numbers appear in page 51, that 083 number and 072 number in both shots in page 51, and you say that is Mr. Molefe and Mr. Tau's numbers respectively. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Siegels.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioner. So we had dealt with 33.6, and then you say, can you just tell us about paragraph 34, where you deal with additional surveillance information and cell phone records, which is not before the Commission, but just so to complete the picture at paragraph 34.
Yes, paragraph 34.
Yes.
And then in addition, the surveillance information before and on the day of the murder revealed that Taus Viano was at and near the office park where Swart was murdered, and it appears that whoever was driving the vehicle was scouting the place. And then the cell phone, the cell phone records and the vehicle tracking information and the CCTV camera footage agree to this and are attached as for witness B to talk more about.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify paragraph 34, and you must just confirm this for the commissioners, is that the sentence should in fact read that the surveillance information before and after the day of the murder revealed that the Viano was at or near the office park, not on the day of the murder.
Yes, that is correct. That will confirm that this vehicle was used to survey either the crime scene or maybe to survey the victim, who is Mr. Swart, as well.
Thank you, Witness A. And then if you could...
Before you move on, you say the surveillance information before and after the day, and then you refer us to WA1. Can we look at that WA1 and see where does it convey what you say in that paragraph 34?
Yes, Commissioner, I just indicated now that information about the Viano itself is not before the Commission. The WA1 refers to everything that has been dealt with under 33 and 34. But the Viano information, unfortunately, is not before us. To demonstrate that the Viano was there before, was at the scene before the murder. That information is not before the Commission.
Okay, so WA1 correctly speaks to the 12th of April.
It speaks to the 12th, the 13th, all of the dates, but in relation to the I-20 and the Mercedes-Benz C200, not the Viano.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe this is for the witness and not you then, Ms. Siggles. What do we make of the shots on page 52 of our bundle?
Yes.
With specific reference to the date of 16 April 2024.
Let me just see.
Witness A, are you on page 52?
Yes. Can I just...
I'm on page 52, Commissioners.
Yeah. Can I just clarify, Commissioner Kumalo, the correct statement should be that the cell phone records and the vehicle tracking information relates to the tracking information relates to the I-20 and the Mercedes-Benz C200. CCTV footage would include the I-20, the Viano, and the C200. Thank you. But the statement still remains that the Viano is not on the day of the murder.
Are you referring to the last sentence of 34?
Correct, Chair. It's that...
Just restate what you said just now about that sentence.
So there's information that relates to the day of the murder, and that would be in relation to the I-20 and the C200, not the Viano. There is information predating the murder, and that would relate to the I-20 and to the Viano and the Mercedes-Benz. The Viano and the Mercedes-Benz.
Let me rather ask the witness the question. Witness A, is there CCTV footage of the Viano in Vereeniging on the 17th of April 2024, which is the date of the murder?
No.
Is there CCTV footage of the Hyundai I-20 at Vereeniging on the date of the murder, that being 17 April 2024?
Yes, Commissioners.
All right.
In the first sentence of 34, we must delete the words "and on let me just, in addition, the surveillance information before the day of the murder. So we delete the "and" on.
Correct,
Thank
Chair.
you.
Yes, Commissioners. Thank you for the correction.
And then witness A, if we can then deal with that footage insofar as the Viano is concerned before the murder. If you go to page 52 of the bundle.
Yes, Commissioners. This will now be on the 16th of
In every tub of Vicks, a memory lingers. The smell in the air, the rub on your chest. Care passed down from Oma to Mama to you. Relief is in our roots.
belongs to Tau is picked up driving in front of the QTech company by the CCTV cameras at that time that I've just given, which is 16:39.
Now, what was the Viano doing in the area on the 16th, the day before the murder?
My understanding, it will be that they were finalizing their surveillance as the murder was going to be committed the following morning.
And in your experience as an investigator, what is the reason, why would the Viano not be there on the day of the murder? Why would it not be used to transport the hitmen to the murder scene on the day?
I think it will be for the suspect not to be easily linked to the crime scene, because this motor vehicle is linked to Tau. It belongs to Tau, and then it was seen surveilling the crime scene before the murder. So using it again on the crime of scene, it was going to make it easy for whoever was going to do investigation to connect this motor vehicle with the crime, and which was also going to make it easy for the investigators to connect the crime to the person who owns the motor vehicle, who is Tau. So I think this was all pre-planned.
In that page 52, witness A, and going back to the paragraph in your statement, you at 33.5.1, you say at 16:31, Tau makes a call to Molefe and receives a call from Molefe at 16:34, while Tau's vehicle is spotted on CCTV footage at QTech offices at 16:39. And then you go to page 32. At the bottom of that picture that you've just spoken to, 52. Yes, at 52, you've got those headings: makes a call to 083, and then in brackets you say Molefe, and then receives a call. Where in these two documents, 1631 and 1634, do we see that the call is, in the first one, is from Tau to Molefe? Can you just talk us through that grid? But also, if you're able to, where he is in fact at the time of the call, of the two calls.
Oh, yes, Commissioners. We see this first by his vehicle. It is physically put there by the cameras. And then when we look at the column down there, we can see, I don't know how I'm going to...
I think, witness A, if you can use your hard copy, because what you're seeing on the screen is the redacted version, which won't have the information that Commissioner Baloyi is asking you to confirm. So if you can use your hard copy for this exercise on page 52.
That is correct. I'm carrying it in my hand as I speak. But I wanted to say it is seen that when these calls were made, this number, which is 072, which belongs to Tau, is put by tower location at Duncanville, which is in Vereeniging, where the crime scene is. It will be at the bottom, at the last, at the very last column of the page on the right, where it is written LTE Duncanville.
Thank you.
Then on the far left, where that column starts, it will depict the number of the suspect. Michael, pull it down.
Thank you, Witness A.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And then at paragraph 35, without reading out the name of Witness B, can you just read paragraph 35 into the record?
Yes, it reads that Witness B will testify in detail to the links that were discovered after Molefe's arrest, which is now on the 6th of December 2024. The reason I deal with these links is to complete the timeline and deal with the type of information that was available to the team, although not all can be revealed in public. I will deal later with the links related to the murder of Opa, John Sifuka, and two other persons that he was with, which will then be known as Walter Mkwena and Sandy Lemiezi.
Thank you, Witness A. If we can then go to page 12 of your statement, and here you now deal with uncomfortable incidents and the first signs of possible interference. And we are now at paragraph 36. If you can just tell the Commission about that incident.
Yes, in this paragraph, I'm going to deal with the first signs of discomfort that we're now confirming what we saw when we went for the first appearance in Vereeniging. Then we could see that it was spread it was not only based in the police station where Tau was working, but it was spread right across the province, if I may say that, up until the senior officers of SAPS. I'm saying this because in mid-May, I was told by Witness B that she had received a call from our commander, Colonel Mkwena, in our office, who had Major General Shibiri, who is the head of organized crime nationally, actually wanted to see us to brief him about the case of Mr. Swart.
Sorry, Witness A, before you go ahead, can you just tell us who is Colonel Mokwena and what is his or her position? You say direct commander, but what is the position?
He is colonel, he is a colonel, and then he is our immediate commander in terms of the structure at work. It will be Brigadier Khopane, it will be him, and then so it goes down. So we reported to him directly.
And who does he report to?
He reports to Brigadier Khopane.
Okay.
Who then reports to the general.
Continue.
Yes. So this information, I'm getting it as second-hand from Witness B, who is now telling me to to say, hey, yesterday I got a call from Colonel Mkwena, who told me or us that we need to go see General Shibir at his office in head office in Pretoria. And then further than that, witness B says, actually, it seems like when Colonel Mkwena was calling her, he was together with General Shibir at one place. Because as Colonel Mkwena was talking to witness B, he then gave the phone over to General Shibir to talk or to speak to witness B and relay that message that he had already passed through Colonel Mkwena.
And then in paragraph 37, you deal with witness B's response to General Shibiri. Can you tell us about that?
Witness B tells me now to say, in that brief call, General Shibiri asked her a certain information in relation of the Mr. Swart murder case, and then witness B tells me that she told General Shibiri that the case that we're dealing with is of a sensitive nature, so she did not feel comfortable to discuss it over the phone, which is why now the decision to come like physically to his office was emphasized.
When you say decision, was she saying to General Shibiri that she will come to him, or was he inviting the team to come and meet him at his offices?
He was inviting, he had already done it through Colonel Mkwena. But now I think he also wanted just to get some information before we could come, which then witness B said no, but General, I don't feel comfortable talking about this case over the phone, given the sensitivity it has. And then we had to go see him the following day.
Okay, and in paragraph 38, you then deal with the meeting. Can you take us through it?
Can I just for completeness, sorry, witness A, just for completeness, your statement says that she told him, General Shibiri, that she had concerns about providing such a report to him, and it ends there. So on a reading of the statement, it suggests she refused to give him. But from what you're saying, it in fact should have said such a report to him over the phone. That's a complete statement from what you're saying.
That is correct, Commissioner. Maybe it is the way that I gave the statement. She didn't actually refuse, but she suggested that it can be given to him verbally, not over the phone.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. At paragraph 38, you deal with the meeting?
Yes, at paragraph 38, it was the day that we were supposed to go and meet with the general at his office. But given the lot of work that we had on this docket, we could not just drive in the morning and go see the general. We had to do the task that was at hand, the investigation on this case. Then much later on the day, then we drove to Pretoria in the company of the member that had gave us the instruction to go attend to the crime scene from Brigadier Khopane on the 17th. So it was 3 of us going to see General Shibiri in his office at Pretoria.
Okay, continue.
Yes, and then when we arrived at the office of the general, we were welcomed in. And then the meeting started. It actually was not even a formal meeting. He just asked a very few questions about the case, and then during that conversation, he told us that this case that we were working on was actually a very sensitive case because the people that are arrested are connected to people that are very dangerous. And then he told us that these people who are the now suspect are connected to a person who had already passed away by then, who was called Mswazi. And then they are very dangerous. And then there is a lot of resistance and interference that we're going to get from the police while we're doing our investigation. And then he also wants us to take care or to look after ourselves. And during the conversation, he also gave us the person that works with the group, but he belongs to a DPCI, which is Hawk's office, Tom's office, by the name of Zoom. We didn't know that person before we came to this office, but we were told about him to say he works with this group. We might encounter interference from him and other people that maybe we're not told about there.
Witness A, can I just take you back to your statement? You've skipped some information. At paragraph
Yes.
39, after the general tells you, you say after he told you about the very dangerous person called Mswazi, can you just continue from there?
Oh yes, then he told us that as a suspect we are applying for bail. He told us that he asked us what was the status and everything, and then we told him obviously that we were opposing bail. And then he said there were envelopes that were on offer. He termed it as there were 3 envelopes flying around that were on offer for the suspects to get bail. He said one envelope will be for the investigating officers, the other one will be for the magistrate, the last one will be for the prosecutor. And then by envelopes, we understood him to mean money, even though he didn't say money, but he said there is 3 envelopes flying around to make sure that these people get paid.
Now, witness A, when you say General Shibiri, when General Mkwanazi testified, he spoke to a senior person who informed the investigators that there were 3 envelopes. Was he referring do you know if he was referring to General Shibiri?
Yes, my understanding is that he was referring to General Shibiri because in this investigation, when you take the mentioning of 3 envelopes, it only appeared in the meeting that we had with General Shibiri. And by the way, we reported it to our commanders as well.
Thank you.
Can I just ask a follow-up question, Witness A? The mention of 3 envelopes, A, was it made in your presence? And B, what was your reaction to it when it was made, the mention of the 3 envelopes?
It was made in my presence. My first reaction, it was just shock. And then it wasn't that I was expecting to be told now, because I was here sitting with the senior officer who was now needed to give me guidance to say what to do with these 3 envelopes, because obviously they were coming our way. I expected the general to say, if this envelope come, do this about them. Or this is the action that has already been taken to avert that thing happening, so that the envelopes don't even get to you. But all that did not happen. To what witness B asked a direct question to the general to say, if it happens that the general knows about these envelopes and he knows that they are flying around and one of them is coming to his members, and then he also knows that there are people who are doing wrongdoing in terms of Zungu now, because he's already been disciplined. Now, witness B asked the general directly to say, what is being done by that? And then the general said there should be inquiry opened with the aim to register a project for investigation such wrongdoings. But he didn't say that had already taken place. He was telling us what was supposed to have been done, which would mean if witness B didn't ask, I don't think that was going to be mentioned even.
Thank you, witness A.
May I, sorry. Do you in paragraph 40, and you've already mentioned in your evidence the reference to Zungu, do you know if General Shibiri has done anything or taken steps relating to this Zungu police officer?
No, commissioners, we did actually not do a follow-up on that. We don't know if anything was done to Zungu. Neither did we ever identify who this Zungu person is.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Witness A, just to go back to the reference to 3 envelopes by General Shibiri, was it your understanding that he was saying that he knew that there were 3 envelopes available if you were willing to accept it, or was he saying that he had the envelopes for you?
No, what I understood is that he was saying he knew that there is envelopes that were ready, which one of them was meant for the investigating officers. But I don't know if he had them with him, and I didn't understand it to say he was having them, or he was having one envelope with him. I didn't understand it that way.
Okay. In paragraph 40, you dealt with Zungu, but your statement starts with another person. Can you read that and then just explain whether General Shibiri expanded on that issue?
He did not expand it. He just told us that he knows a lawyer that was standing for Mr. Tau. Then he mentioned by name that is a Mr. Victor Marshall, who has since been struck off the roll.
Now,
And then he didn't give any references to why he is mentioning him or what was the reason he mentions him. But he just told us that he knows the lawyer that was standing for Tau, which was true because we had already been in court a few times with Tau, and then we knew whose lawyer was.
okay, and then in paragraph 41, you've already dealt with what witness B's attitude was towards General Shibiri mentioning wrongdoings by officers where there seem to have been no consequences. But you deal with another issue that she had raised. Can you deal with that in paragraph 40, the second part of that paragraph?
That will be now the issue of Zoom or paragraph 41, Commissioner, if I may ask.
Paragraph 41, where witness B had made a request to General Shabiri after she had asked about what steps had been taken against officers that have been accused of wrongdoing.
Oh, yes. It means when we spoke, then after having asked, witness B having asked General Shabiri what he will do about what he has just told us, we went on with talking with General Shabiri, and then he advised us that we get protection in terms of assistance, actually, in terms of seeing if the cars that we're using were not followed or fitted with unauthorized trackers, and also to have them checked for that I've just said. And then witness B asked General Shabiri if it would be possible to request that the ballistic section speed up the ballistics analysis of the firearms, to which General Shabiri agreed. And then he took the phone and then he made a call to a person that he referred to as Brigadier Mlauzi at Ballistics Pretoria and requested that the ballistics be fast-tracked.
Can I just follow up on that? Was there an issue with the ballistics at that stage? Why would there be a request for it to be expedited?
At this time, there was no delay, but we just knew that usually your ballistics will be what delays the investigation in our experience. You will do all your investigation, then you complete it, then it will be the ballistics that is holding back the investigation. So we just was requesting for an assistance from that front.
And you have dealt with it, but if I could just ask you to then read paragraph 43 and 44 into the record.
Before you do that, let me take you back to paragraph 40. Did your investigations ever reveal that Zungu was working with the suspects?
No, it did not reveal it because we actually did not conduct that investigation, because it would need a complete parallel investigation. And at that given time, we had a lot on our hands. We actually were focused with dealing with the case of murder and linking the other suspect who had, that we had already identified as the hit organizer, which is Katiso Mlefe. So we didn't really undertake to do that investigation, commissioners.
And did General Shabiri ever mention this subject to you again?
Of Officer Zungu in particular?
Of Zungu.
No, he didn't.
Witness A, let me also take you back at paragraph 39, where you mentioned that General Shabiri said that people linked to the arrested suspects have money and are connected to a very dangerous person called Mswazi. And you say in brackets that you are aware that Mswazi died in January 2024. Perhaps tell us more about Mswazi so that we don't make assumptions. We don't accept on the face of it that he was a very dangerous person. Who is Mswazi and how does he fit in or would even come up in this conversation between you and General Shabiri?
At this time, Mswazi was a person that was widely known as a taxi owner, and he was a ruthless someone in terms of killings. We know him to that extent. And then we would later learn that the people that we're dealing with were directly connected to him or to the group that was going to be later referred as the cartel or the Big Five. So I'm thinking now that the general was just giving us the heads up to say you are dealing with something very massive, even though we didn't understand at that time. We just thought, oh, this is Mswazi that is known for doing this, so we must take care. Only to learn later that these people were directly connected to Mswati through Katiso Molefe. Then now it made sense what the general was saying to us at that time.
You understood him to include Warrant Officer Tau as people connected to this Mswazi that you describe?
Yes, but Warrant Officer Tau will be connected through Katiso, not directly to Mswati.
Thank you. Thank you.
As I understood it, Commissioners.
I see that it's 1 o'clock. Let's adjourn and resume at 2 p.m.